this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 253. Range 4,000 yards from Bloodhound. Mountie reporting.
Mountie, this is Bloodhound. Proceed to engage contact. Able.
Roger. Mountie engaging contact. Able. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 252. Range 4,100 yards from Bloodhound.
Hard left rudder. Aye, sir.
Okay. We're gonna... Yes, last time we diverted to help Mountie specifically and ended up way out of position. And
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact.
So,
Able. Bearing 251. Range 4,100 yards from Bloodhound.
We're not going to push unless they really need us, which from a tactical perspective looks like.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 249. Range 4,100 yards from Bloodhound.
He's going to have to surface to get into a firing position.
Steady as she goes.
So we'll clear our
Aye.
guns.
Steady on course. 3, 3, 4.
That's what we'll do.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 248. Range 4,000 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 246. Range 4,000 yards from Bloodhound.
Always
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 245. Range 3,900 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 243. Range 3,900 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 241. Range 3,800 yards from Bloodhound.
He's definitely closing the distance. So that's good.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 240. Range 3,700 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 238. Range 3,700 yards from Bloodhound.
Nothing else yet, but I swear if I go over there, something will come from the freaking 110 direction.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 236. Range 3,600 yards from Bloodhound.
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 005. Range 4,700 yards.
Bridge, combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing 005. Range 4,700 yards. I designate contact Baker. Time 2:35.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 234. Range 3,600 yards from Bloodhound.
Fire.
Mountie, this is Bloodhound. Maneuver to new station.
Roger. Mountie maneuvering to new station.
Mountie, this is Bloodhound. Proceed.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able.
Fire.
Bearing 233. Range 3,600 yards from Bloodhound.
I see
Roger.
it.
Mountie engaging.
Stand by to
I was
fire.
missing that
Start
camera
tracking
zoom, but-
contact. Target acquired.
Last time.
Fire.
Is she went down?
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 229. Range 3,600 yards from Bloodhound.
Lost contact. Baker. Last bearing 007. Last range 3,700 yards.
Sonar, this is the captain. Investigate ARC 351220.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Able. Bearing 226. Range 3,700 yards from Bloodhound.
Investigating ARC 351 through 081. Visor, ready depth charges.
Oh, that
Shallow
looks
pattern.
good.
Combat sonar, new sonar contact.
Maybe he dropped a little early.
010. Range 3,300 yards.
1,300 yards.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie lost contact. Able. Last known at bearing 223. Range 3,800 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained contact. Able. Bearing 223. Range 3,800 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie lost contact. Able. Last known at bearing 222. Range 3,800 yards from Bloodhound.
Combat sonar, contact. Baker, now bears 012. Range 2,900 yards. Very strong propeller noise.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained contact. Able. Bearing 221. Range 4,000 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie made a death charge attack on contact. Able. Unknown results.
Combat sonar, contact. Baker, now bears 011. Range 2,500 yards. Contact decreasing depth.
Just surfacing? Because that's the only thing she can do.
Surface radar has regained contact. Baker, bearing 010.
Fire.
Range 2,300 yards.
Stand by to
Ooh.
fire.
Contact.
That looked like it
Baker,
hit.
now bears
Fire.
010. Range 2,200 yards.
Start tracking contact. Target acquired.
Rudder.
Target bearing 011. Range
Get all 5 guns on
1,900 yards.
Rudder amidships.
Fire.
Rudder amidships.
Contact. Baker, now bears 012.
Fire.
Range 1,700
She's going back
yards.
Fire.
down.
Fire. Target bearing 015. Range 1,500 yards. On target. Fire. On target. On target. Fire.
Contact. Baker, now bears 018.
Fire.
Range 1,300 yards.
Fire.
I feel like a 5-inch shell.
Lost contact. Baker, last bearing
feel like a 5-inch shell would,
018. Last
absolutely
range
wreck
1,200
Your
yards.
ability to go down. But... Okay, that tracks. Other way. Let's start here. Okay.
Combat sonar. Regain contact. Baker. Bearing 0.
2, 4. Range 800 yards. New course 0, 3, 0. Course 0, 3, 0.
Oh, she
Aye, sir.
turned.
New course 0, 2, 0. Course 0, 2, 0. Aye, sir. Combat sonar. Contact. Baker. Now bears 0, 2, 2. Range 600 yards. Bearing steady. Rudder 10 degrees right. Combat sonar. Contact. Baker. Now bears 0, 1, 9. Range 300 yards. Bearing steady.
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 0, 8, 5. Range 4,900 yards.
Bridge, combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing 085. Range 4,900 yards. I designate contact Charlie. Time 2:41.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie lost contact. Able. Last known at bearing 211. Range
Fire 1.
5,200 yards from Bloodhound.
Combat sonar. Lost contact. Baker. Last
Fire
bearing
2.
0, 1, 9. Last range 300 yards.
Bloodhound,
Fire
this
3.
is Mountie. Mountie regained. Contact. Able. Bearing 211. Range
Ooh, that was a good
5,200
initial.
yards from Bloodhound.
Bridge, port lookout, oil slick, bearing 1, 8, 6.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie made a depth charge attack on contact. Able. Unknown results.
Ready depth charges. Shallow pattern. Sonar. This is the captain.
Huh?
Investigate arc. 1,
pickle.
3, 8. 2, 2, 2, 8.
Investigating arc. 1,
Mustard.
3, 8 through 2, 2, 8. Aye, sir.
Other way. Go the other way. Actually, she's probably here.
Sonar, combat. Investigate arc 105 through 195.
Investigating arc. 0, 9, 1 through.
Sonar.
1, 8, 1. Aye, sir.
All escorts. Contact Baker has most likely been sunk by a Bloodhound. Well done.
Okay, so that means Charlie.
New course. 1, 0, 0.
Stand by to fire.
0, 0. Aye, sir.
Load illumination round. Illuminate. 1,
That was good.
0,
We got
0.
a-
Load
on the
point
first
detonating
round.
rounds. Fire.
Oh, she's far. Them things left.
Fire. Fire. Fire.
Lost contact. Charlie. Last bearing 1, 0, 1. Last range 4,100 yards.
1, 2, 0. Course 1, 2, 0. Aye, sir. Sonar. This is the captain. Investigate arc. 0, 5, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3.
Investigating arc. 0, 5, 3 through
It's right there.
1, 4, 3. Aye, sir.
I see the little mark. I swear. Isn't that what that is? Was it because they were 4,100 yards out? I guess it's still coming up and it can't be both there. Yeah. Okay. Damn, Manny. Finish the thing off.
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 309er. Range 3,800 yards.
Bridge combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing 309. Range 3,800 yards. I designate contact dog. Time 2:46.
Stand by to fire. Fire. Load illumination rounds. Illuminate. 309. Load point detonating rounds.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie lost contact. Able. Last
Fire.
known at bearing 221. Range 4,600
Fire.
yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained. Contact able.
Fire.
Bearing 221. Range 4,600 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound,
Fire.
this is Mountie. Mountie lost contact. Able. Last known at bearing 222. Range 4,600 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained. Contact able. Bearing 223. Range 4,600 yards from Bloodhound.
Lost contact. Dog. Last bearing 308. Last range 3,500 yards.
Target bearing 309.
Combat sonar.
New sonar contact. Bearing 103. Range 3,200 yards.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie made a death charge attack on contact. Able. Unknown results.
Sonar combat. Investigate arc 089 through 179.
Combat sonar. Investigating arc.
found him.
089. Combat sonar. Contact. Charlie. Now bears 103. Range 3,000 yards.
Surface radar has regained contact. Charlie, bearing 102.
Is that so?
Range 3,000 yards.
Stand by to
It's
fire.
shot.
Target bearing 104. Range 3,000 yards.
Contact. Charlie now bears 103. Range 3,000 yards.
Target bearing 106. Range 2,900 fires.
Contact. Charlie now bears 106. Range 2,900 yards.
New course. 130. Course 130. Aye, sir.
Target bearing 109. Range 2,700 yards.
Contact. Charlie now bears
Fire.
110. Range 2,700 yards.
Load illumination rounds. Illuminate 112. Load point detonating rounds.
Lost contact. Charlie, last bearing 110. Last range 2,500 yards.
Combat sonar. Regain contact. Charlie, bearing 111. Range 2,400 yards.
Okay.
Combat sonar. Contact. Charlie now bears 110. Range 2,200 yards. Estimated depth shallow.
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 087. Range 5,200 yards.
Bridge combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing 087. Range 5,200 yards. I designate contact easy. Time 2:50.
Surface radar has regained contact. Dog, bearing 309er. Range 5,000 yards.
Combat sonar. Contact. Charlie now bears 109. Range 2,100 yards. Bearing steady.
Stand by to
Combat sonar. Contact. Charlie now bears 107. Range 1,900 yards. Estimated depth, shallow.
Target bearing 311. Range 5,000. Fire.
Bridge, starboard lookout. Merchant ship, CBDR. Bearing 187. Range closing quickly. I say again, CBDR.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie lost contact. Able. Last known at bearing 249. Range 4,800 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained. Contact. Able. Bearing 249. Range 4,800 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie lost contact. Able. Last known at bearing 250. Range 4,800 yards
Fire.
from Bloodhound.
Combat sonar. Contact. Charlie. Now bears 102. Range 1,700 yards. Contact
Fire.
decreasing depth.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained. Contact. Able. Bearing 252. Range 4,900 yards from Bloodhound.
Lost contact. Dog. Last bearing 312. Last range 4,600 yards.
Combat sonar. Lost contact. Charlie. Last bearing 102. Last range 1,500 yards.
Surface radar has regained contact. Charlie, bearing 104. Range 1,500 yards.
Stand by to fire.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie made a depth charge attack on contact. Able. Unknown results.
Contact. Charlie now bears 103. Range 1,500 yards.
Stand by to fire. Target bearing 101. Fire. 1,500 yards.
Contact. Charlie
Fire.
now bears 0.
On target.
Niner. Range
Fire.
1,400 yards.
On target.
What
Target
made you
bearing
think you should
0
come up
9.
and
Fire.
say,
Range
Make my job
1,400
easy.
yards. Fire. On target.
Contact. Charlie now
Fire.
bears 0. Niner 6. Range 1,400 yards.
Target bearing 095. Fire. Range 1,400 yards.
1,400
Fire.
yards, let's go.
Fire. Fire.
Contact.
On target.
Charlie now bears
Fire.
904. Range 1,400
Fire.
yards.
Target bearing. On target. On target.
Ooh!
Fire. On target. On target. Fire. Fire.
I think that means she's done, boys.
Lost contact. Charlie, last bearing 094. Last range 1,300 yards.
Sonar. This is the captain. Investigate ARC 05921449. Investigating ARC.
059 through 149. Aye, sir.
Stand by to fire.
Lost contact. Easy. Last bearing 078. Last range 1,600 yards.
Combat sonar. New sonar contact. Bearing 08.
6. Range 900 yards.
All escorts, contact Charlie has most likely been sunk by a bloodhound. Congratulations to your crew.
Bridge, starboard lookout. Object 1/2 to the horizon. Bearing 095. Appears to be periscope feather.
Combat sonar. Contact. Easy. Now bears
095. Range.
600 yards. Contact increasing depth.
Bridge, starboard lookout. Object 1/2 to the horizon. Bearing 097. Appears to be periscope feather.
Surface radar has regained contact. Dog, bearing 300. Range 5,500 yards.
Bridge, starboard lookout. Object 1/3 to the horizon. Bearing 104. Appears to be periscope feather.
Combat sonar. Contact. Easy. Now bears 107. Range 300 yards. Contact increasing depth.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie lost contact. Able. Last known at bearing 256. Range 6,100
Fire 1.
yards from Bloodhound.
Combat sonar. Lost contact. Fire 2. Last bearing 107. 7.
Fire
Last
3.
range, 200 yards. Combat sonar. Regain contact. Easy. Bearing 3, 4, 9. Range 30 yards. Combat sonar. Lost contact. Easy. Last bearing 3, 4, 9. Last
Fire
range
1.
30 yards.
Ready depth charges. Shallow pattern. Fire 2.
Probably off back over here.
Fire 3.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie made a depth charge attack on contact. Able. Sonar reports sounds of a sinking submarine.
Sonar, this is the captain. Perform active search. 3, 5, 4, 2, 0, 8, 4. Active search.
3, 5, 4, through 0, 8, 4.
Aye, sir.
Sonar, combat. Investigate arc. 3, 1, 4, through.
0, 4, 4.
Combat sonar. Investigating arc. 3, 1, 4, through 0, 4.
4. Sonar I.
All escorts. Contact Able has most likely been sunk by a Mountie.
Combat sonar. Regain contact. Easy. Bearing 0, 0, 7. Range
400 yards.
Well done.
Still shallow.
Combat sonar. Contact. Easy. Now bears 0, 4, 3. Range 300 yards. Bearings drifting right.
I'm not sure my circle's tight enough. Can't go any tighter though.
combat sonar.
Contact. Easy.
Now bears
0, 9, 1. Range 300 yards. Combat sonar. Contact. Easy. Now bears 1, 0, 1. Range 300 yards. Very strong propeller noise.
Where is she now? Come on, come on, come on, come on.
combat sonar. Contact.
She's inside the
Easy.
circle.
Now bears 1, 4, 4.
That's her.
Range 300 yards. Very strong propeller noise.
Running.
Combat sonar. Contact. Easy. Now bears 1, 7, 6. Range 300 yards. Bearings drifting right.
Rudder 15 degrees right.
Rudder.
Ready depth charges.
Right.
Shallow
Aye,
pattern.
sir. Combat sonar. Contact. Easy. Now bears 1, 9, 9. Range 100 yards. Bearings drifting right.
Still shallow for some reason.
Steady as she goes.
Aye. Combat sonar. Lost contact. Easy.
Fire
Last
one.
bearing 2, 0, 9. Last range 100 yards. Combat
Fire
sonar.
two.
We're a little
Regain
behind,
contact.
but that's still
Easy.
gonna hurt.
Bearing 0, 4, 2.
Fire
Range
3.
100 yards. Combat sonar. Lost contact. Easy. Last bearing 0, 4, 2. Last range 30 yards.
Bridge, port lookout, oil slick, bearing 0, 4, 6.
Aye, sir.
Hard left rudder.
Hard left rudder. Aye, sir.
Come around on the oil slick. We know which way she was going.
Mountie reporting.
Mountie, this is Bloodhound. Attack contact, dog.
Roger. Mountie attacking contact. Dog.
All engines ahead.
2/3.
All engines ahead, 2/3. Aye, sir. Sonar, combat. Investigate arc. 2, 3.
2 through 3 2 2.
Combat sonar. Investigating arc. 2, 3, 2. Through 3, 2, 2. Sonar eye. Rudder amidships.
Rudder amidships. Aye, sir.
All engines ahead 1/3.
All engines ahead, 1/3. Aye, sir. Sonar,
think I'm
combat.
mistaken on which way she
Investigate
was
arc.
going.
3.
4 3 through 0 7 3.
Combat sonar. Investigating arc. 3 4 3 through 0 7 3. Sonar eye. Combat sonar. Regain contact. Easy. Bearing 0 1 3. Range
100 yards. Ready depth charges. Shallow pattern. Ready depth charges. Medium pattern. Combat sonar. Lost contact. Easy. Last bearing. 0.
1 3. Last range 100 yards.
What?
Hard right rudder.
Hard right rudder. Aye, sir.
Steady as she goes.
Aye. Steady on course. 3, 4, 2.
Stand by to fire. Fire. On target. Fire. 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 On target. Fire. Fire.
Lost contact. Dog. Last bearing. 3, 4, 2. Last range. 2,000 yards.
Sonar, combat. Investigate arc. 0, 5.
3 through 1 4 3.
Combat sonar. Investigating arc. 0, 5, 3. Through 1, 4, 3. Sonar eye.
Hard right rudder. Aye, sir.
All engines ahead. 2/3.
All engines ahead, 2/3. Aye, sir.
Steady as she goes. Aye.
Steady on
Honestly,
course.
don't know
0,
what dog was
1,
doing.
1.
If I was dog, I would have fired on the soul convoy. Emptied my tubes. He was way too close.
Sonar. This is the captain. Investigate arc. 0, 0, 8, 2, 1, 8, 8. Investigating arc. 0,
Start
0,
over.
8.
Too much
Through
clutter.
1, 8, 8.
Aye, sir.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained. Contact. Dog. Bearing 3, 4, 5. Range 1,200 yards from Bloodhound.
Combat sonar. Regain contact. Easy. Bearing 1, 5, 3. Range 1,000 yards. Combat sonar. Contact. Easy. Now bears 158. Range
1,200 yards.
bearing steady. All engines ahead flank.
All engines ahead flank. Aye, sir.
Combat sonar. Lost contact. Easy. Last bearing 158.
Last range 1,100 yards. Sonar, this is the captain. Perform active search. 2842014. Active search 284 through 014. Aye, sir. Hard left rudder.
Hard left rudder. Aye, sir.
Rudder amidships.
Rudder amidships. Aye, sir.
Bridge, port lookout, merchant ship, CBDR, bearing, 238. Range closing quickly. I say again, CBDR.
All engines ahead. 2/3.
All
Bridge, port lookout, merchant ship, CBDR, bearing, 2-1.
1. Range closing quickly. I say again, CBDR.
Hard left rudder.
Hard left rudder. Aye, sir.
Surface radar has regained contact. Easy, bearing 171. Range 2,500 yards.
Stand by to fire. Target bearing 170. Range 2,500 yards.
Contact easy. Now bears 170. Range 2,500 yards.
Stand by to fire. Target bearing 167. Range 2,400 yards. Fire.
Contact easy. Now bears 166.
Fire.
Range 2,400 yards.
New course.
Fire.
190.
Course 190. Aye, sir.
Target bearing 162. Range 2,200 yards. Fire. Fire.
Contact easy. Now bears 159. Range 2,100 yards.
Fire. On target. Target. Fire. 155. Range. On target.
Lost contact. Easy. Last bearing 159. Last range 1,900 yards.
Bridge, starboard lookout, merchant ship, CBDR, bearing 214. Range closing quickly. I say again, CBDR.
Rudder amidships.
Rudder amidships. Aye, sir. Bridge, starboard lookout, object 1/2 to the horizon, bearing 160. Appears to be periscope feather. Bridge, starboard lookout, object 1/2 to the horizon, bearing 160. Appears to be periscope feather.
Ready depth charges. Shallow pattern.
All escorts.
needs-
Contact Easy has most likely been sunk by a bloodhound. Good job.
Hard right rudder. Aye, sir.
Steady as she goes.
Aye. Steady on course 1-8.
Fire 1. Fire 2. Fire 3.
Not easy. I'm going after dog. I saw periscope.
Bridge, port lookout, oil slick, bearing, 023.
All engines ahead. 2/3.
All engines ahead, 2/3. Aye, sir.
Sonar, this is the captain. Perform active search. 337 Active search 337 through 067. Aye, sir. Ready depth charges. Shallow pattern. Steady as she goes. Aye. Steady on course 062. Combat sonar. Regain contact. Dog. Bearing 347. Range 800 yards. Hard left rudder. Aye, sir. Combat sonar. Contact. Dog. Now bears 334. Range 700 yards. Estimated depth shallow. Combat sonar. Contact. Dog. Now bears 329. Range 600 yards. Contact increasing depth. All engines ahead 1/3.
All engines ahead 1/3. Aye, sir.
Combat sonar. Contact. Dog. Now bears 332. Range 400 yards. Estimated depth shallow. Combat sonar. Contact. Dog. Now bears 338. Range 400 yards. Estimated depth medium. Ready depth charges, medium pattern. Combat sonar. Contact. Dog. Now bears 350. Range 300 yards. Strong propeller noise. Rudder 30 degrees right. Aye, sir. Steady as she goes. Aye. Steady. Combat sonar. Contact. Dog. Now bears 010. Range 200 yards. Strong propeller noise. New course 020. Course 020. Aye, sir. New course 035. Course. Combat sonar. Contact. Dog. Now bears 039. Range 200 yards. Estimated depth medium. 45. Course 045. Aye, sir. All engines ahead 2/3.
All engines ahead 2/3. Aye, sir.
New course 060. Course 0. Combat sonar. Contact. Dog. Now bears 073. Range 100 yards. Estimated depth medium. 0. Course 090. Aye, sir. Combat sonar. Lost contact. Dog. Last bearing 073. Last range 100 yards.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Dog. Bearing 244. Range 100 yards from Bloodhound.
Fire 1. Rudder amidships.
Rudder. Bloodhound,
Fire
this
2.
is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Dog. Bearing 2 6, 5.
Fire,
Range 200 yards from Bloodhound.
Hard right rudder.
Hard right rudder. Aye, sir.
Ready depth charges. Medium pattern.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Dog, bearing 2, 5, 6. Range 400 yards from Bloodhound.
Steady as she goes.
Aye. Steady on course. 117.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. Dog, bearing 2, 6, 8. Range 500 yards from Bloodhound.
Sonar.
Combat sonar.
This is the captain.
Regain contact.
Dog, bearing 2, 7, 3.
All escorts, return to assigned convoy position. That was one hell of a battle, but we managed to hold our own.
Did it somehow continue? Okay. We got 4 out of 5. 80%. I mean, it's not bad. Nothing lost. We'll take it.
The Germans didn't stand a chance. This encounter is a win for the Allies. Most importantly, all our precious cargo made it through. The Germans took a beating today. I hope they withdraw their subs. They certainly cannot continue to sustain losses like we dealt them in this battle. That was one hell of a battle, but we managed to pull through. I don't want to jinx it, but luck is really on our side.
Really?
We have reached
You
the
don't say
chop
those
line
things.
and will be relieved by the British escorts. We did a great job getting our convoy this far. I hope the Royal Navy has an equal outcome.
Good morning, Captain. Please be seated. You had a small convoy this time. In the future, the convoys will be larger. It seems you encountered very few U-boats. What counts is how many of your ships made the crossing. You did well with minimal losses.
Only 10. Only 10.
You and your crew performed superbly this time, with many U-boats sunk or disabled. Overall, you and your crew did your job well, Captain. I commend you.
Our convoys are growing steadily, but it's still just a handful of merchants. Seems like the Germans are sinking them almost as fast as we can build new ones. But there is a silver lining. We have been assigned an additional escort.
Finally, the U-boats will still outnumber us, but with 3 ships in the screen, we can at least begin to mount a more adequate defense. And what do we know about enemy activity?
Not a lot of boats have been making daily position reports recently. The 2 convoys ahead of us report little activity.
Can we count on any aircraft support?
We can expect support from maritime patrol aircraft about half the time, weather permitting.
Is there a weather forecast in this set of orders?
Let me look. Yes, these sailing orders say to expect short periods of good weather and short periods of stormy weather for the next 18 days. No major storms are forecast, and the temperature will be in the 40s and 50s most days.
All things considered, we are as prepared as we can be for another Atlantic crossing. May God be with us.
Jansen has returned to sea, but her true element is combat. She is a warship, and that is this destroyer's very essence. She was made for hostile waters with lurking subs, and she has a crew that is a match for such perils. We are tasked with escorting another convoy across the North Atlantic. I do not know when and where the enemy will engage us, but almost certainly they will. The XO and I will ensure that the crew is ready at all times for whatever unfolds. Our orders are to meet with the Canadians at St. John. I may opt to pull seniority if we don't get aside Pierce side. This one will be a small convoy again, but at least we have more ships in the screen now, and we can press with our coordinated attacks. This method seems very effective when performed well, but requires good teamwork. I just hope we are learning faster than the Germans. We are told that the weather forecast is good, but just in the last 24 hours the situation has deteriorated. I wish the weather guessers could provide a more accurate forecast or redefine what they consider fair weather. Our Army Air Corps friends should be with us for at least part of the time. I always feel safer under their watchful eyes. The French underground reported that a lot of U-boats are in port. If their sources are correct, we should take advantage of that and make maximum speed. Let's just hope we don't run into an ambush.
Say things like that. That's a torpedo.
Red Oak is sinking.
Bloodhound, take station to get between the convoy and the attacking sub. Over.
Bloodhound acknowledges. Out.
Officer of the deck, set general quarters.
Set general quarters. Aye. General quarters. General quarters. All hands man your battle stations. Set conditions Zebra throughout the ship.
Stern depth charge detail manned and ready. Main battery ports manned and ready. Engineering officer of the watch reports engineering manned and ready. Zebra set. 4 boilers online. Max speed 32 knots. Electric plant split. All fire pumps online.
Very well.
We've lost Red Oak. All ships. Maneuver to avoid.
It's gonna be a short one tonight. And tomorrow I'm probably flying again. Do some more BMS action. Probably bounce back and forth for a little while. Until then, see y'all next time.